This is one of my personal favorites, the air squat. Okay? Now, personally, I like the air squat. I love the air squat, actually, because it's one of those most basic things that we do. We get up and off of a toilet. We get up and off of a chair if we're sitting in the office all day. We get out of our bed every day. It's one of the most transferable things to every single thing that we do. So, typically, if you have a hard time with an air squat, I'm pretty sure you have a hard time getting out of your bed. Everything is pretty tough. So, it's one of those things that you do with no load, and you can master it. One thing I remember at my level 1 certification was how awesome the person demonstrating did their air squat. And I like to think that CrossFit picked that person because of that reason, to display their amazing ability to show a great air squat. So when I saw that, I said, I'm going to have a great air squat too, so I can display a good thing. To me, it's like your CrossFit handshake, okay? It's your way of sizing up the field, if you want to look at it like that. If I look over at somebody warming up and their air squat looks very bad, and they're doing some warm-up air squats and they're like this, or they're warming up and they're doing them like this, or whatever, and they're just really slouched, odds are a lot of their movements are going to be very slouched and very sloppy. Okay? So, if I can't master a movement that has no load whatsoever, how am I supposed to move on to those heavier lifting things? How am I supposed to get in a good advantage point? Okay? Now, first thing I'm going to talk about is what is not an air squat. Okay? Things that I don't call an air squat, and maybe this is just me, this is what I'll go over. Okay, so first one is the hands on the head air squat. Okay? If I'm outside and I'm down, say, on the beach on 3rd Street, and I'm just kind of hanging around, and my hands are on my head, and all of a sudden some guy comes up and wants to dot my eye, odds are I'm not going to be able to block it quick enough, unless my hands are in the ready where they should be, or here, where they're free and ready to go. So, if I go ahead and I do a bunch of these air squats with my hands on my head, sometimes I'm more than likely to lean forward and have this terrible looking air squat. Okay? Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but do I really want to prepare myself to do stuff like this? And then also, because I'm doing that, I'm not going to lock my hips out and stand up straight like I should. Okay? So, if I have a workout and it says, say, has 100 or more air squats, and I do them all like this, I just did 100 to 150 bad, terrible things that made me worse in 1,000 different movements. It's really that simple when you look at it, okay? Another one, the hands on the thighs air squat, okay? If it is really that hard, okay, or you can't keep your hands right up where they're at, then we need some other type of assistance. Okay, you need to maybe use a band to hold you up straight, or get up close to a bar to hold yourself up straight. But the last thing you want to do is start doing stuff like this and pushing off your thighs and so on. Okay, that's not going to think about it. It's a foundational movement, and in a foundation of anything, a house, a car, or whatever, if it's got rusty ball bearing joints, if it's got sloppy foundation in the concrete, odds are you're going to have to replace that crap a lot farther down the road, and the longevity side of it is going to go away. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you how you can become a master of the air squat. Okay? So a lot of times you'll see people, they do their first air squat, their hips go back, that's great, but they don't have that straight up and down air squat. Okay? And that's what we want to see. The knees driving out, torso straight up and down, drive through the heels and just stand like you're talking. Okay? So, what happens is, first thing I'll probably do is I'll pull out a kettlebell and I'll have them do a goblet squat. Now this isn't a goblet squat where it's leaning on your body, okay? Because then again, we want to develop good mechanics. So I'm going to have them hold it up here like a glass of water, so I'm able to look right through and see them. Alright, from here I'm going to be nice and tight, and that way I have that counterbalance. I'll hold it for a couple of seconds, and then I'll stand. Hold it for a couple of seconds, and then I'll stand. Okay? That's one thing you can do. Okay? Another thing it could be is bad flexibility. Alright, so one thing that I have a lot of my guys do, because they have a hard time getting to that bottom position of that squat, is I'll have them a little 5-minute buy-in to the gym. They'll grab this, put it around both knees, just like so. Alright? And they'll prop up on the wall. Now, I've seen a lot of people do this one, but they don't do it right. Okay, so if your feet are up here, all right, and let's say you were to flip me around 90 degrees, keeping my feet on the wall, that's not how you do a squat. Okay, so I want those heels to be down really low, okay, and we want the pelvis to lay flat on the ground, okay, because if we start tilting up like this, you're not really getting prepped for that air squat. So my heels are going to be down, my back is going to be flat, and I'm hanging out right here, getting familiarized. You want to hold this for about 5 to 10 minutes. And at first you're going to be like, man, this sucks. Then you'll probably wonder why. My air squat sucks. Okay, so hold that, that'll help you. Okay, you can do that one. Make sure you do a cool dismount like that. Okay. Another thing you can do is a lot of people have bad ankles. This is just something I made here, just a piece of wood with a little angle on it. Okay. You can hook a band up right here, and that Achilles tendon can be really tight. So I'll take the band and I'll kick my heel forward, and from here, I can, if I'm standing up straight, I'm going to get that high calf area. If I can put it up in front of something, I can pull on it and really get that high calf. And then also, I can bend at the knee, okay? And what I want to do is actually drive my knee out over the inside of my toe. I don't want to just be like that, okay? So I want to drive this kneecap over the outside of my toe, and I can pull down on this, and I'm really going to stretch this whole deal out here, okay? The whole Achilles there. All right, another thing, you could have really tight IT bands. You could roll those out, okay? Another drill, and if you're here, you probably have a pretty good squatting prescription if you tilt too much. All right, what I'm going to have you do here is you're going to do an air squat as close as you can to this pole without having to touch. Now, I got that down, so I'm going to move a little bit closer, okay? I'm trying to hold that straight up and down, weight in my heels. Now I'm going to go a little bit closer. If I lose that balance, I can use a finger and then drive up, okay? But what I'm really trying to train is that upright torso. Think about it. If under no load, I'm already doing this in my air squat, when I go to do a push jerk, I guarantee you your push jerk is going to look like this. And you're going to have your butt back, torso tilted forward. But if you really master that foundational move, that functional movement of the air squat, you're going to be doing good straight up and down movements. Everything's going to be lined up how they should be, and your body will be developed how it should be. Okay, should be. Keyword should be. Okay, not because I want it, because that's how it should be. Okay? Another one you can do, all right? And I know this might be air squat overload, but you can put the hands up really high. All right? Set your toes up in a good squat position. And what we're really trying to get is close to the wall as we can, staying in those heels. So let's just start from here for now. My hands are going to prop up on the wall, nice up and straight and down, driving those knees out, and I'm good. I'm going to work it up here a little bit more. This one's going to really help you drive those knees out and keep getting closer. Another one, those of you who don't have those strong glutes and hips, okay, I'm going to take this band, all right, from here, I'm going to put it at about knee height, okay? From here, I'm going to put a little bit of tension on it. I'm going to do an air squat, and I'm going to drive my knees out and stand. Now notice, when I come up here, okay, I'm not just going to let my knees cave in on the way up. So if I'm down here, my knees are out, and I go like that, I'm not developing a skill to drive up. So as I'm driving down, I drive up. All the way down, all the way up. But I don't want to do this either, and I want to do this. All right, if I have to hold on to this, that's fine, but hold on to it in that upright position. Just remember, if you're practicing an air squat and you're not in an upright position, you're in a bad position, okay? Find a way, find any assistance you can to hold that upright position. If you do it, I promise you, it'll help every single movement that you do. The air squat. Fix it!